Washington said its air defenses were holding. They weren't. Iranian missiles got through in Kuwait and Bahrain. Impact craters confirmed. Damage at the 5th Fleet headquarters. Jebel Ali port struck. The official version said largely contained. Independent investigations said otherwise. Iran says it crushed American command center and airbase in Jordan with 10 missiles. The shield that was supposed to protect the Gulf has holes in it. For months, Washington insisted its air defenses were holding the line. But now, fresh reports suggest the shield was never as impenetrable as claimed. According to new reports, American and Allied forces failed to intercept every Iranian missile launched at US military bases in the Gulf, raising fresh questions about the true scale of Tehran's retaliatory strikes. According to a Wall Street Journal report citing US officials, American and Allied air defense systems failed to stop every recent Iranian strike targeting US military installations in Kuwait and Bahrain. Although officials said the attacks caused no casualties and only limited damage, the report adds to growing scrutiny over the effectiveness of the region's missile defenses. The findings also fit a broader pattern seen throughout the conflict, where Washington and several host governments initially played down the impact of Iranian strikes. Investigations by the New York Times, ABC News, and BBC Verify later identified impact craters and damaged infrastructure at military facilities, including Bahrain's 5th Fleet headquarters and Jebel Ali port in the United Arab Emirates, after officials had initially suggested the attacks had been largely contained. Separate investigations comparing Iranian-released satellite imagery with independent Western sources also found destruction across multiple military sites to be broadly consistent with Tehran's claims, casting further doubt on early assessments that dismissed the extent of the attacks. The latest developments follow what Al Mayadeen's correspondent in Tehran described as the largest US military assault on Iran since the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Washington and Tehran. According to Iranian officials, the US bombardment struck 5 Iranian provinces over 2 days, killing 14 people and injuring 78 others. In response, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps launched a multi-phase retaliation. The first phase involved joint strikes by the IRGC's naval and aerospace forces against 4 US military facilities: Camp Arifjan and Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait, along with Jufair and Sheikh Issa Air Base in Bahrain. The IRGC later announced a second phase of retaliation, claiming it had fired 10 ballistic missiles targeting a US command and control center in West Asia and Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan.
The enemy's command and control center in West Asia and the Al Azraq Air Base in Jordan were crushed with 10 ballistic missiles.
The Al Azraq base is a key facility used by American forces in Jordan. Jordanian authorities reported air raid sirens across the country after detecting Iranian missiles in its airspace, while the US Embassy in Amman urged American citizens to shelter in place. The IRGC warned that any further American military action would trigger an even broader response, declaring that no US base in the region would be spared. As both sides continue to exchange strikes and increasingly direct warnings, the confrontation is exposing not only the widening military conflict between the United States and Iran, but also growing questions over the true effectiveness of American air defenses and the accuracy of the official narrative surrounding the war. As Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's funeral procession crossed into Iraq, the United States carried out another major round of military strikes against Iran, dramatically escalating tensions after President Donald Trump declared that the Memorandum of Understanding with Tehran was over. According to US Central Command, American forces launched the latest strikes on July 8th with the stated objective of further degrading Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping and civilian vessels in the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz.
US forces struck approximately 90 Iranian military targets, including air defense systems, coastal surveillance assets, missile and drone storage sites, naval capabilities, and military logistics infrastructure along Iran's coastline. The latest strikes follow successful execution of offensive strikes in Iran the night before. CENTCOM forces hit approximately 80 Iranian military targets July 7th, including more than 60 Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps small boats, to impose heavy costs for Iran, violating the ceasefire by attacking 3 commercial vessels navigating the Strait of Hormuz.
The second round of strikes in as many days came after Trump said that the US hit Iran very hard after the IRGC's July 7th assault on 3 cargo ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz.
We just hit them very hard, and I say we hit them 20-1. Every time they hit us, we're going to hit them 20. And we did it last night. They did a little something today, but it was really retribution for last night. They hit actually 3 boats, not 2. And when they hit, we hit back much harder. It's sort of crazy, to be honest with you. They're sort of crazy. They're a little bit out of control, but they want to make a deal. Badly.
Explosions were reported across southern Iran, with the semi-official Mehr news agency saying air defenses had been activated in Bandar Abbas, Sirik, Konarak, and Chabahar. Meanwhile, Trump also shared footage of the strikes on his Truth Social platform. Axios reported, citing US officials, that the White House is preparing for the possibility of a multi-day or even multi-week military confrontation with Iran, with the duration depending on Tehran's next moves. The report said US officials believed elements within Iran's leadership had initiated fresh attacks, prompting Washington to respond with a significantly stronger military operation. It added that while the United States remains open to an agreement, it will not accept a deal that fails to meet its conditions. Iran responded in no time. In a statement carried by state broadcaster IRIB, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed responsibility for missile and drone attacks on several American military bases in Kuwait and Bahrain.
Attacks on Bahrain and Kuwait were in retaliation for attacks on Iran's southern coastal provinces and 2 bridges in the eastern provinces towards the holy city of Mashhad. The US attacks were aimed at overshadowing the historic funeral ceremony. If the US repeats its attacks, Iran's crushing responses would be expanded to include other American bases in the region.
Iran's Speaker of Parliament Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf echoed IRGC's claims and warned that the Strait of Hormuz will open only with Iranian arrangements.
America still hasn't learned that bullying and breaking promises are no longer cost-free. Let me put it plainly, if you strike, you'll get hit. Don't flail around pointlessly or you'll sink even deeper. The Strait of Hormuz will only open with Iranian arrangements, not American threats.
At the same time, Kuwait's military announced that its air defense systems had intercepted what it described as hostile missile and drone attacks. As both sides continue exchanging military strikes, the confrontation has moved far beyond its original objectives. What began as an effort to secure freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz is now evolving into a broader regional conflict, with the risk of further escalation growing by the hour.